help in areas of learning the language, education, and then just out and about in the community and understanding what things you need to be aware of.
Can I add one?
Yes, absolutely.
So we do also have a lot of partnerships with companies in the area. So we do have several companies that we work with who want to tap in and work with this population. And so they've worked with us where we develop custom English classes that can help individuals build the English skills they need. It's typically a 5-week program, and then jump into, they're actually hired on and they take that English class at work. And they're learning on the job and taking the English class at work. So we have some great opportunities there as well. Come in and talk to us if that is of interest. And then we also have so many of our certificate programs are free of charge. We have so much tuition assisted. So if that's something you're thinking about, but cost isn't all a worry, if you're thinking like nurse aid, welding, computer, basic computer programming type thing that we have, closing classes we have, all kinds of healthcare programs. Those are typically free for most individuals. So had to give a plug for that.
And Carla, what are some of the local employers that are participating in these programs? If you wouldn't mind sharing, I'd like to give a shout out to them.
Absolutely, yep. So we've, currently we do have a class running at Whirlpool. We've had a class running at Nordstrom, but they just have a little break at the moment. But we've been in touch with them about potentially restarting that up again. There is a class, we're getting close to launching a class in Iowa City, actually, working with childcare, a group of childcare centers who want to bring on individuals into their program. So it'll be a large class of individuals that will work with them to build those skills, and then I think they'll take I believe that is set up where they take the class first, and then these child care centers will compete to hire out of that class. So yeah, so that's just a couple we have operating right now.
All right, so if you're interested in any of those free resources, just get in touch with Kirkwood Community College. Thank you so much. All right, well, we are going to now talk with Mariama. And so Mariama, as a mother, so I'm interested in your perspective. So why don't you, coming to the United States, tell us a little about your background and share your story with us and tell us about your family.
Hello everyone, my name is Mariama. I moved to the USA in 2001 to pursue my degree goal was to pursue my degree in medicine. But after working at the cafeteria for about 6 months, I realized that working as a cafeteria cleaning plates would not be able to fund my medical degree at all. So I started talking to my counselors and everyone else at school, trying to figure out what else can I do to be able to further my education. I just don't want to finish 2-year college and be done with it. And one of my counselors were telling me, you're good at math, you're good at science, if you do anything in engineering and do good, you'll be able to get a scholarship. I won't promise you'll get a scholarship in medical fully, but you'll be able to have an engineering scholarship, and working for all the small work you can do at the school, that would be able to help you further your education. I took that advice and went ahead and had my degree in science, so later on I can pursue my engineering degree. So I had my 2-year college. From there I moved to a 4-year college. Within the 4-year college, I followed what my counselor mentioned. As long as your GPA is high, you'll be able to have a scholarship as an in-state instead of an international student. International student was super expensive. There was no way I can fund that with all the tiny money that I had. So I went ahead and did what they told me to do, and I was able to go to UT and have my degree in computer science and engineering. Finished that, and right before I graduated, I got contacted by Collins Aerospace saying that they can hire me off if I come here. And my first response was like, hey, I'm a foreign national, and you guys are defense, you don't deal with anybody who is foreign national, so I'm not coming and wasting my energy for an interview. They insisted and called again and said, you know what, we do fund and we do file for H1 and everyone else. We'll free you over, just come give us a chance and see how it works. That's what brought me to Iowa, and my goal was to be here for a year and then move back because of the winter. I was just gonna do 1 year and go back and do my master's. But after 16 years, I'm still here and I won't regret it at all. One of the reasons why I said I won't regret it, it's really good place to be able to raise a kid, which is one good factor. Everything, any way you want to go, you can go there easily. And people are welcoming, to all your point, if you allow them to be able to help you. If you allow people to help you, they end up helping you back. It's not like people don't want to help, it's just they don't understand how to reach out to you. So if you put your little bit steps, sometimes they can put their one step forward and be able to help as well. As a parent and as a foreign national, what I would advise would be, everything is different. When you're in Africa, you have help anywhere. When you turn left, someone is able to help you, right? People are able to help, and the entire community would raise our kids. It's not like if my kid is doing wrong, the neighbor would just jump right then and pitch in and say something, and no one would be offended. You wouldn't be in any trouble. Here, that's different. So that being said, and cooking and everything else, you have someone helping you cook. If you have a baby, you have someone helping you cook, someone helping you do everything else.
This sounds like a wonderful place, by the way, of the helpfulness of the community of Africa.
Yes, definitely. So that's a big difference when I moved here. So some of the key things as a parent, instead of planning to cook every day, some of the things I do during the weekend, I prep all my cooking. I cannot stay out from not eating African food. That's what I grew up eating and I love it. I still like all the other food that are here as well, but some of our cooking takes time. So instead of doing it during the week, I prep all my cooking during the weekend, cook everything, freeze some of them if you want to. If there's a meal you really like, cook one big part and freeze as much as you want in your freezer. Remove them when you need them and then use them. And to a young parent, ask for help. If you see like from what all of you guys have mentioned, all this community event, when you come here, you meet people, talk to them and see what they can help. Ask for help, and then likewise, if you can offer for help as well. If you can mentor others and help others to be able to all the struggles you've gone through for them not to do it, kudos to you. Please go ahead and do it. We're all here to help each other.
Thank you for that. Tell me a little bit about, I'm curious about what kept you going when you knew you wanted to get a degree, but you were working in the cafeteria. How did you keep that dream alive and just not give up on it? What did you do?
Yeah, when I was moving here, I thought everything was gonna be easy because what we see on TV and what we see here is totally different. So I was thinking I'm just gonna come, maybe even if I sweep the floor, I'm gonna have $1 million and I'll use that $1 million to pay my fees. That's how I thought it was going to be. But the thing is, what kept me going is I want to be able to help my family. I want to be able to give back to them and help my family. So every day I'm in the cafeteria lady supervisor loves me so much. Anytime she has extra hours, she'll call me. After class, I'll just jump in, go clean. Morning, evening, anytime she calls me to go and work out. Because the one effort, I think mainly is to be able to help my family. I know that there was a chance that even not anyone from Africa had the same opportunity. I wanted to make sure that that opportunity is not wasted. And luckily enough, since I've been in Iowa, most of these people have known. I've raised 3 of my nephews. They went to high school with me and one niece. Without that, there was no way I could have grown. They did their high schools and they're all in college. Some of them already graduated. And to your question about my family, I do have my 2 own kids. Someone is turning 14 today, and I have a 10-year-old. Yeah.
So this is just such an amazing story, first of all. Thank you for sharing it. I want to take away that one of the things I heard was your why. Why was it so important for you was your family, and that you wanted to give back and help others, and that was what kept you going and looking. So I think that that's important to point out, because whether you're new coming to the U.S. or you live here in the U.S. And you were born here, there are obstacles and challenges for all of us, and the important thing is to understand, why do I feel so strongly about something, and then don't give up on that and look for ways that you can seek help to make your dream a reality. And I love that you also brought up your tip about meal prepping as a mom and that you're busy. So that's a great takeaway as well. Look for ways to make your work week, your life easier. So first of all, I want to say thank you to all the panelists. I think there were a lot of great discussions here. And after we're done here, if you'd like to, those out in the audience, if you would like to come up and talk to any of the panelists, please feel free to do that. And maybe I'll just see if there are any questions that anyone in the audience has for any of our panelists. Let me know. I'll come bring a microphone and you can ask a question. Okay, Azai, you have a question?
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry, folks. Okay. Thank you. I'm sorry. Well, my question will go to the officer, Mr. Glenn. In 2009, I couldn't. Hello? It's okay. Yeah. Yeah, you know, everyone talk good about Iowa. I am one of those that come to Iowa without any knowledge of English. And in 2009, I said that we should do something, because I am kind of person that when I go through a struggle, I don't want someone else to go through that. I want to expose my experiences, either good or bad, so those who will come after me will not go through what I went through. My English was not good, but I said we should do something to help immigrants. And I reached out to the police of Cedar Rapids, and Mr. Glenn with another officer lady are the first officers that I work with, and we have realized a documentary called Do's and Don'ts in the United States. And I am so glad that Mr. Glenn is here again to help our community, I mean immigrant community. One of his videos that, because that video we have two sections. One was it someone, I believe it was in Washington State. And one guy called me, he said, hey, he watched the video and he thought maybe the officer was doing bad things to me. And he said that officer is really bad. And I said, no, he's not bad. He's the one that is trying to help us. And that documentary, we just made it through the way to help immigrants to know their rights and their responsibilities in their communities. So my question to you is to see up to now, what did you learn from immigrants? Because during the last 10 years, the number of immigrants increased in Cedar Rapids. Not only those that came from outside of the United States, but also those who came from other states. And I don't know, what did you learn positive as well as negative from them? And how do you expect immigrants to change? And what do you think we can do to be more inclusive into our community? Thank you.
Well, I'll start out. I grew up in a real small town in New Hartford, and it's just up between Cedar Falls and Parkersburg. But we didn't have immigrants. We didn't have people of other races in that town, and I learned a lot just doing this job. So when I started back in, let me think back in 1986. So I started to learn more about people once I got out in the world a little more. It wasn't just kind of confined to the farm, and got to get out and meet people. So doing this video and meeting all the immigrants through the job and people of other races, I've learned a lot about people. And I've learned not to judge them right away too. So I think as humans we tend to judge each other, and we don't sit back and say everybody has their struggles, everybody's gone through a lot, and nobody is without struggles in this life. So that's one thing I've learned in this job of dealing with other people and everybody, is everybody's got a story, and if you just take time to listen to them, you can learn a lot. And like I said, I've learned a lot about different cultures. We have the Latino Fest coming up here in a couple weeks. Have a great relationship with them. So I've learned to just sit back and listen to people and not be the enforcer. So it's better to just be a friend with somebody rather than enforce things and just learn from each other.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. And I think those are just, first of all, amazing comments to, in a way, end this on. This is about extending an offer of friendship, extending a helping hand, learning from each other and getting to know each other. And I want to say thank you to our panelists. Thank you for sharing your stories of struggles, what you went through. Thank you for helping and being a part of our community. And everyone, give them a round of applause. Thank you so much. All right, we're going to take a brief break. Let's take about 3 minutes, and then we are going to hear from our main speaker, Professor Basel, and then we will have a dance. All right, thank you, Dirk. And let's give us 3 minutes. Actually, we're still waiting for Professor Basel to arrive, so we'll take a quick break, and then we are going to have a fashion show. So I'm looking forward to that. So stick around. Just give us 3 minutes to kind of get some music going.